Yep. Now TikTok Studio has to update. Of course it does. You can do it. Come on. Hi, Justin. Okay. Jeez. Taking 5 million years for TikTok Studio to load up this morning. Okay. We did it. My gosh. Connect. There we go. Alrighty, we're in here. TikTok suppresses me? I just started. How can it suppress me already? Damn. It's crazy. Well, yeah, also studio. Hi, Ari. Hello, hello. Good afternoon, Miguel. Over on the tubes, I see you. Hello. Oop, that's not where I meant to go. Wrong one. Okay. Get that going for the day. Okay. Yep, as you guys come in, if you could tap that screen, share the live out, do your daily heart me if you have not done so. I would appreciate it. So we've already got 14 of the 20 roses. That does help push us onto the algorithm. I appreciate that. Welcome in, Olive Raiders. Hi, friends. Oh, I went too far then. But hello, hello, everybody. Lemons. For all the lemons in here, yeah, there's always that. Okay, let's do. There's a nice little, this one. Okay, as we get started this morning, guys, let me do my little spiel. I started a little bit at the beginning, but we'll do it again here. I appreciate you guys being here on this Thursday. If you guys could tap that screen, share the live out, do your daily heart me if you have not done so. Don't forget, I think you can still, unless they took that away, you can repost them or post them to your stories, whatever you want to do. I do have the little winky hearts up there, helps push us onto the algorithm. And I have my 100 goal that I have every single day, guys. This is my job. This is income for my family. So tip your content creators. Make sure you are helping us out. It does take work to put these outlines together. It's a lot of emotional labor and mental labor to speak to these people who do not speak with facts. They speak with their feelings and love to crash out. So if you guys could do that, that would be wonderful. The links to help with that 100 goal are in my bio. The Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all those things are in there. I would appreciate it. Don't forget, you can just do a $1 train, $2 train. Anything helps. But we have not been on it with my goal this week. I've had wonderful people who have supported, but we just have not been getting there. And so I would appreciate it if we could. If you can't, I appreciate you just tapping. I have that little bar down there. I would like to get to 50,000 likes before the top of the next hour. So for my time, that's 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Mountain Time. And then from that last hour, we do another 50,000 to get 100,000 likes for the total 2 hours that I'm on. I'd appreciate it if you could help with that if you can't help with my monetary goal. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. This one up. Ah, there's a hair on the keyboard. Okay. Let's see. I'll probably show this first, maybe. So that's going to be...
My name's not Lemon Kinley.
You did. Olea Lemons.
I'm
Sounds like a business. You should start one.
selling lemons.
I see you guys over. By the way, I'm also multi-streaming. I'm over on YouTube and Twitch if you guys want to go and subscribe or follow over there. There's also memberships over there that you can do. I would appreciate it as well. Don't forget, you can send super chats over on YouTube as well. I will read those out, and I appreciate you so much if you do. But before we get to that, Bubba Smith with the Confederate flag in your bio says, First Amendment, come get me. Who's coming after your First Amendment? Maybe you should read the First Amendment, because even if I do take it away, or Justin chooses to take it away for, a few seconds, that doesn't violate the First Amendment of the Constitution. Try reading a book. Start with Goodnight Moon. That's a good place to start.
Why do people with losing flags decide to make outrageous comments like that,
We do like the losing team, I guess, a little bit. Yeah?
I guess so. My heritage.
So we'll start with the
I'll try to be nice today.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, I know why. It always does that. Didn't fix that.
I mean, I'm not going to make entire promises, but I'll try and be be civil.
All right. I'm just going to start with this as the headline. Hillary Clinton testifies as part of House investigation into Epstein. I know Olive went over this a little bit this morning. So the former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is currently testifying before U.S. House lawmakers in New York as part of a congressional investigation into convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, kicking off 2 days of depositions that will also include former President Bill Clinton. The closed-doors depositions come after months of tense back and forth between the former high-powered Democratic couple and the Republican-controlled House Oversight Committee. As you can see, we're getting live updates as it goes along. The newest information we have right now is that Hillary Clinton testifies she has no information on Epstein's criminal activities. She also says she has no information and never recalls meeting him. Did she actually ever meet him? I don't know that we have pictures of them together, but, that's...
I haven't looked yet. I was going to do that throughout your live today to see if I could find anything.
Totally.
Just curious. Because, again, if... like you said in my live, if they're just prosecuting Hillary Clinton because she's married to Bill, then are we going to prosecute Bill Gates' wife? Are we going to prosecute?
Did Melinda Gates do anything?
What about Les Wexner's wife? Are we going to prosecute April?
Right. And we've got friendly fire in the YouTube chat as well. You guys have fun with your white on white crime.
Blame Eli.
Was he invited to Chelsea Clinton's wedding? I honestly have no clue. This is not me defending. I literally don't know. That would be something I would love to see information on. I have no fucking clue. Maybe, Linetti. But we will get started today. So, one of the things that came out of the State of the Union is the fact that there is going to be... Hi, Dragon's Kelt over on Twitch. There's going to be a war on fraud. Okay. Well, war on fraud, he put... J.D. Vance, because he needs something to do with himself, put him in charge of the war on fraud. Apparently, he's going to be working with Dr. Oz on this, which is very interesting, because they have a plan. Let me turn that phone line on. Apparently, they're already mad this morning.
Gumpy Gumps.
You guys just like to interrupt my videos. No. Brand new announcement. They didn't say this, but what they are announcing is going to be brand new lawsuits to the federal administration. D3, how are you today?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
Can I get your age and what state you voted in, please?
40 in New York.
All right. Why are you still supporting Trump?
Because I do. It doesn't really matter what you clowns think. We have the right to.
But I'm asking you why. Why would you come up on a panel where I'm specifically asking you that question and you'd refuse to answer? Okay. Anyway, back to what I was doing. That was way more important than that. Okay.
Was his phone driving away from him?
Yeah, I think so. It wanted to get away too. So this is J.D. Vance and Oz announcing a brand new lawsuit that they're going to have against them coming up soon.
So we're announcing today that we have decided to temporarily halt certain amounts of Medicaid funding that are going to the state of Minnesota in order to ensure that the state of Minnesota takes its obligations seriously to be good stewards of the American people's tax money. Now, what is this going to mean? What this means is that, first of all, the providers on the ground in Minnesota have actually already been paid. The state has paid those providers the money. What we're doing is we are stopping the federal payments that will go to the state government until the state government takes its obligations seriously to stop the fraud that's being perpetrated against the American taxes. So
they're no longer going to give that federal funding to the state to distribute it. That means you're taking it from the people. That is what that means. So let me move that over. I don't need that. He's going to get asked because guess what? They don't get to determine where that funding goes and when. Yeah, well, also that. I have that, Audie, too, as well.
Front.
Two things, Mr. Vice President. First, can you talk about the legal authority under which the federal government pauses legally obligated funds under mandatory funding from Congress, such as Medicaid? And secondly, if you can tell us anything you know.
If something happened to Jeff, I would have heard about it.
Coast of Cuba, was a speedboat shot. We've been briefed on that. Americans were killed or injured in it.
Yeah, so on the second thing, actually, Marco briefed me about 15 minutes ago on it, but we don't know a whole lot of details, and so I'll defer to the White House to provide more updates as we get them. Certainly, a situation that we're monitoring.
Every time. They can't help it. Thank you for calling the stream. Age, state, who'd you vote for?
Mr. Trump.
Okay, age and state.
I'm 66, Greenwich, Connecticut.
All right, why are you still supporting Trump?
Because he's cleaning up the mess that the bastard Democrats made.
What mess?
And I think, what mess?
Mm-hmm.
And Tish James needs to go to jail. You believe what's happening?
I asked you what mess. No. What policy? What policy is he doing to clean up mess?
Food, gas prices are down. Food prices are down.
What did he do? What did he do to effectuate gas prices being down?
I'm not sure. I'm not really a politician.
Well, no, I mean? but if you're going to, I understand that. I'm not a politician either. But if you're going to claim that Trump is the reason for gas prices going down, I would expect you to have proof behind that. Otherwise, you just believe in magic. And I don't believe in magic.
Well, I go to the pumps and it's cheaper, isn't it?
It is. So gas is cheaper. I'm not going to give Trump that credit because he didn't do anything to make it cheaper.
Who did it then? Mr. Biden?
Who sets prices?
Biden?
No. Absolutely
You're
not.
a bozo.
Presidents don't set gas prices. They can.
Who does that?
The gas companies, like OPEC, set gas prices. Okay.
Bozo.
Good job, Grandpa.
Bozo.
Undisputed. When did this come out?
Thank you for calling the stream. Age, state, who'd you vote for?
Trump.
Okay, can I get your age and state?
Sure. My name's Stacy. I'm in Texas.
Yeah, your age, please. I didn't need your name.
I'm sorry.
You're okay.
My age is 48.
All right. Why are you still supporting Trump?
Because of his policies.
Which one? Name one. We can talk about it.
Sure, absolutely. First of all, lowering fuel costs, and that springs into a whole.
How did he do that?
Area. He did it on day one, January 20th, when he went into office, and he signed executive orders opening up leases for offshore and on federal properties that formerly been closed by Biden and most Democrats.
Which lease?
Right there,
which lease was closed by Biden that he reopened?
If you are you serious? Go look it up. If you need
No,
to be
it's your
educated on it,
claim,
but
which means you would have proof behind it, or you're just saying
not
stuff that you
claim, it's
believe.
It's proof. He signed it that day.
So
You can
show
go
me,
look.
give me the EO number of the lease that he restarted that Biden specifically ended.
You know what? You know the truth, and you just are in denial. That's it.
I don't. This is a claim that then prove to me that it's a fact, honey. Prove to me.
Multiple
EOs have numbers. EOs have numbers. EOs have numbers. Give me the number of the EO, or else it's not proof. You guys just believe in Trump because you believe in Trump. That means nothing to me. Give me the EO number.
You look it up yourself, sweetheart.
I'm not doing your work for you.
And guess what? It's not my work. It's already
done.
It
is yours. It's your work because it's your claim. It's your work. It's your work. 5-year low?
Did Biden open up offshore or on national? No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. That's not true. Biden had yes, he did. Biden.
You are a liar.
Biden signed one of the highest amount of gas leases.
Why were you trying to divide the hockey team? You said the women got this many and the men.
Oh, you're still mad about the hockey medals. Oh, sweetheart, about the gold medals. I'm so sorry that women are better than you at hockey medals. Now, until you can give me that EO number to show that Donald Trump has opened up a lease that Biden closed, you're not going to continue talking. Okay? So you're on hold right now. Listen up real good.
But you have to walk them down. You have to walk them and show them how to read. Spot went to town. Where do you have to start?
What's the EO number? Just give me that. That's all I'm asking for.
Sweetheart, you'll have to you have to do your own homework.
It's your homework, bitch. All right.
If he was going to talk about the Keystone Pipeline, I was
waiting for it.
I was
for the Keyline Pipeline.
Look, I'm going to say it once and I say it again. Keystone Pipeline was closed underneath the Trump administration. I swear to fucking Christ that I'm a jump.
It's him.
Is it him? I want you guys to know, under Montana's court, they shut down the Keystone XL pipeline due to the fact it went through indigenous lands. Biden pulled it.
No, do you not?
I want you guys to, can we comprehend that together?
I'm not going to go through it unless they bring it up. They can bring it up if they want to, but I'm not going to go through it until then.
I'm going to still jump, though.
Tony, how are you today?
Good. 53 Illinois Trump.
All right. Why are you still supporting Trump?
Border policies,
What
getting
about
rid of illegal aliens.
What about the border?
Getting rid of I'm telling you, listen.
No. What policy did he pass for the border?
Deportating the illegal aliens in our country that didn't come by the law.
What's the title that our immigration law is under?
I just know it's a law.
You don't, though.
You don't know the law.
Olive, I think the host asked me a question, not you.
Do you know the law?
You know the law?
Yeah, I do.
All right, say it.
Are you so you don't know then, and you would like me to educate you and tell you?
Sure, educate me.
Sure, it would be Title 8. That is what all of our immigration law is under. So how do we prove that somebody was not supposed to be here?
Social security numbers, identification.
Do illegal immigrants get social security numbers?
Right, that's why they need to
Sure.
go.
Where if you don't have a social security number, you need to go?
Yes.
Do you know that there's people with legal status who are not U.S. citizens who do not have social
Well,
security
then they'll
numbers?
have documents. Then they'll have documents
where do you
with
present
them that
those?
says they can be here.
I agree. Where do you present those documents?
When they stop you and they say, show me your documents, just like a driver's license.
No, actually. If they detain you, where do you show those documents?
If you get pulled over and an officer asks you for your license, you show them your license. If you don't have them because you're not supposed to be here, you show them your green papers. If you don't have the green papers, if you don't have the green papers, then you get on a plane and you get sent
the green
some
papers. It's called.
What are green papers?
It's the green card. Do you know how many
green,
forms?
purple, blue.
No, how many
almost
forms?
sounds like an LGBTQ flag.
It is.
Nice
We love our gays. Nice phobias. How many forms? Do you know how
I
many?
love my phobia.
Do you know how many forms?
And my kids have it too.
That's great. Do you
My
know how many
kids have
forms?
it too.
Awesome that you're a fucking bigot and you're teaching your kids to be
See the
bigots because you
kid,
can't
see the
fucking handle
child in my
yourself.
photo?
Listen,
She hates
take your kid off of the
faggots.
internet. No, this is real advice. Take your kid off of the internet if you're going to be in political spaces because people are fucking weird, like you. Anyway, what I'm going to say is there are 8 different forms of legal status, so it's not just a green card. A green card is a permanent resident card. That is what it is. I totally missed W. Lynatti, by the way, for the 10 on the green app. For anyone in New York that voted for Trump, thank you so much, Lynatti. I appreciate you.
Can you turn up your mic a bit, love?
I can try. Oh, why is it?
It got quiet first. There we go. That's better.
It got turned down. Did I touch it? I don't remember touching it. Oh well.
We're here now. No, Tony. Let me show you something. Right? Ready? Magic trick. Ready, Tony? 1, 2, 3. Poof. Oh, here's another one. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Okay, we're good now.
Okay. Anyway, back to, again, remember, J.D. Vance was being asked about what legal authority they have to blockade this congressionally approved funding for Minnesota Medicaid.
Monitoring, hopefully it's not as bad as we fear it could be, but can't say more because I just don't know more. On the question of the legal authorities, I mean, inherent in Congress's assigning of the administration actually, we're the ones who spend this money. Congress appropriates it. We're the ones who actually make sure this goes to the people it ought to go to. And inherent in that is making sure that it only goes to the people that Congress says that it should go to.
That's not, but you don't get to be the determiner. You don't get to be the auditor on who it goes to. They approved this amount of funding. It goes to the state. The state goes through the process of who gets that funding based off of their application.
Shouldn't be sending money to fraudsters. We should not be sending money to companies that are committing mass fraud. We shouldn't be sending money to anybody that's trying to defraud the American taxpayer. So I know, Oz and his team, he's got the best team, I think, in healthcare anywhere in the private or the public sector. One of the great things I love about working with Dr. Oz is he's brought great people along with him, and congratulations on this. But I feel quite confident we have the legal authority to do this.
Well, I'm sure that the courts will do that like they did before when you said you were going to stop that funding and said, nah.
You know what I smell? I smell a lawsuit.
Well, because remember when they said they were going to block the funding for childcare across the nation because of Nick Shirley's dumbass? What happened with that?
They went to court.
And the court said what?
That it's unconstitutional and illegal to do that shit.
So that'll be another one. Here in this clip, it's a little bit of a longer clip. I don't think he repeats anything from the previous clips. I hope not. But he does near the end. I want you to focus. There's something specifically that he says. They just admit that they are taking away, literally quote, social safety nets. They're literally just admitting and bragging about taking it away because you guys hate poor people, even though you are poor.
Where you see that, and are all of the states that you're going after and where you see these problems ruled by Democratic? I mean, California and Minnesota are both Democratic-run states,
so they're asking. It's hard to hear her. They're asking about like all the states you're going after in regards to this, are just Democratic states. Like, is there no fraud in red states like Texas, in places like that? Like that we're just investigating fraud specifically in Democratic areas.
Well, you said ruled by Democrats. We didn't use that word. You did. But here's what I'd say. $300 billion in the grand scheme of how much the federal government spends on healthcare services, it sounds like a ton of money. It's actually, the federal government spends well over $1 trillion in providing medical services to the American people. And based on what we've seen, based on the amount of services that we've seen that have been billed that are fraudulent, and also based on the fact that in a number of blue states, and this is true as far as I know only in blue states, where you have illegal aliens encouraged to get on the Medicaid program, we actually think $300 billion.
Again, no, because they can't. Now, is there fraud within systems? Of course. You're never going to get rid of fraud to a point of 100%. That's never going to happen because fraudsters are good at doing fraud. But you find it, you prosecute it, and you do everything you can to keep it out of there. However, statistically, we know that it's not at a high rate at all. Most of the fraud that we see within things like the Medicaid and the SNAP benefit system is actually from improper payments from the government or the state themselves, where they're either giving too much or too little, and they always get that back, always. So it's not coming from individual people. Are there individual people that commit fraud? Of course. Illegal aliens don't get federal benefits. I don't know how many times we have to go over this. If you have, again, you can call in and talk about with factual based evidence and not your feelings these things. But you're not going to be able to show me where they're getting that because they can't.
May be conservative. And we certainly, our ambition here is to get as much of that money back for the American taxpayer as possible. Again, we're taking the social safety net. We're taking something that exists for the benefit of people who can't pay for medicine on their own. We want to help our fellow Americans. We can't do that if those programs are being defrauded by people who either shouldn't be here in the first place or have the legal right to be here but are committing criminal acts by defrauding these systems.
Can I clarify one?
You're taking it. It says we're taking it. We're taking the social safety net. That's not true. Even if you were getting defrauded by illegal immigrants for Medicaid, obviously people are still getting their Medicaid. But, that's not the only thing that they're going to stop. Apparently, in their quest to be the good guys, we're going to stop and put a moratorium, which means a stop, on the purchase of certain medical supplies. Hi, Parker's over there on the Twitch. I see you. And Parker's is over there on the tubes in the war zone with Justin.
Parker's! We're announcing a 6-month national moratorium. A national moratorium blocking all new enrollments for durable medical equipment, prostheses, orthotics, supplies across the board. These crimes are becoming a major source of fraudulent activity. And I'll just mention, Mr. Vice President, South Florida. Do you ever go to
So you're putting a 6-month moratorium on being able to purchase and order certain medical equipment, things like prosthetics, until you get this fraud figured out. Right. Would that include sugar monitors? Like, how does this help the American people by putting them in a situation where they can't get the medical equipment or the medical medication they need or the appointments that they need? How does this fucking help? I need to listen more. He's going to ask him about McDonald's, but here, you can listen.
McDonald's?
What?
Yeah. Too much.
We had rehearsed this. So there are twice as many durable medical equipment suppliers in South Florida than McDonald's.
Wow.
And that's not because Secretary Kennedy is closing down McDonald's. That's because the amount of fraud is so massive that it's easier to open one of these suppliers than open a bank account, which is why we're working with Secretary Bessent. And part of the reason for this moratorium is it gives us time to be able to deal with these issues that have become massive. And if we just...
Now, do I agree with Dr. And in Florida. But do I agree with Dr. Oz here that it is, like, the way that you have, like, pop-ups of, like, medical supply companies and things like that, is way easier than to get, like, a fucking franchise license for a McDonald's? Yeah, I agree with that. How does making it where you can't get your equipment stop that from happening? Why don't you just simultaneously pay out for equipment and order equipment like you should for the people who need it, while also going after and making it stricter and harder to create a medical supply business? Why can't you do that?
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question. Have we figured out what we're doing for healthcare for citizens who are pushed off of the ACA because these people who already can't afford these life necessity pieces of equipment medically, already in a long stretch, how are they supposed to be able to, because they can't afford it out of pocket, number one. So these people are already making difficult choices, but when they can, you're telling me that they shouldn't be able to receive it when they have enough money in order to purchase it? So again,
well, I mean, we are talking about Medicaid here, so don't forget that we are talking about Medicaid and not the ACA subsidies here, so that would be a difference, but I'm sure they have concepts of a plan. Scarlett, thank you so much for the jewels. I appreciate you.
Scarlett.
I'll let him finish what he's saying. They're talking about McDonald's.
Shut down South Florida, they'd all flee to California and to Texas. So we have to shut the whole country down. This unfortunate necessity is going to allow us to get on top of what we believe is billions of dollars of DME frauds. We've already stopped $1.5 billion of billing, but we need more time to shut down these bad guys. But it's going to be effective, and it's not going to touch the people who need these services.
Is it not? If you stop ordering equipment of new enrollees who need equipment, how does it not? So then they were asked if they have a message to Minnesota now that they're going to be, taking their shit away.
What is your message to the people of Minnesota who are still upset by the ICE surge as well? And this is just one more thing on top of that.
Well, first of all, I think our message to the people of Minnesota is that we love them. They're our fellow citizens. We're trying to do right by them. And part of the reason, in fact, the main reason that we're doing this is that we want to make sure that the people of Minnesota have access to the services that they're entitled to. We want poor kids in Minnesota, lower income families in Minnesota to be able to get the health care that they need. We got to stop the fraud in order to make sure that happens. We want to make sure that if you have a special needs kid and we have a program set up to help that special needs kid, that the money goes to the special needs family, not to a fraudster who's getting rich off the generosity of American taxpayers. Now, you talk about the ICE surge. Again, I think it goes back to the question I just answered, which is so much of what is broken in Minnesota, as far as I can tell, is a lack of cooperation between the state government and the federal government. If you look at any blue city or any blue state or red city or red state, the immigration enforcement that we were doing.
Are there such things as red cities?
No.
Is that even a thing?
Well, even Mobile. Well,
like, I guess it would be what you count as a town or versus a city, but Oklahoma's a red state. Red city?
Doing was going smoothly. We'd find out that there was an illegal alien sex offender at a prison. We'd show up, we'd arrest that person, and we'd send him out of our country. Or maybe that person was a repeat offender and they were out of prison. The local authorities would say, you know what, go and go to this person's address and arrest this guy because we want that violent criminal out of our community. What was so bizarre about Minneapolis is that it was It was one of the few places in the entire country where they said, no, we're not going to help the federal government get illegal alien sex traffickers out of our community. We are going to do everything that we can to prevent federal immigration enforcement from happening, even when you're going after the very worst of the very worst. Similarly, I would think that if I was the governor or a leader in Minnesota, I would want the benefits that ought by right to go to needy children. I want them to go to those needy children and not to fraudsters, whether they're from the Somali community or anywhere else. But no, we haven't gotten the cooperation. So what I would say to the people of Minnesota is that we want to do right by you. We think you deserve better public services. We think you deserve to have the benefits that you're actually entitled to, and that's why we're doing this. And we encourage everybody in Minnesota, whatever their political affiliation, to work on the state government a little bit, because if we had some better cooperation, we could have common sense immigration enforcement. We could also have less money going to fraudsters, which I would think would be a bipartisan issue.
It would be, except that we don't want you to take it away from people who need it while you do your investigation. I can't believe you can't walk and chew gum at the same time and do both. That's an issue for me personally. So in that same vein, we're going to go to this CNN panel. Get it all out, MAGA. Get it out. Clown News Network, Communist News Network, whatever you need to get out. And you're going to have somebody on there say that in Minnesota they've been reluctant to prosecute. And Abby Phillips combats that really, really well, because it's not true. I know that you guys are hearing about it. We did weeks and weeks on the Minnesota fraud. I know that you guys are just hearing about it for the first time because of Nick Shirley and your incel red-pilled rabbit hole of Reddit and Twitter. I understand that. But this has been being investigated from Trump's first term into indictments and convictions under Biden's administration. This is something that has been heavily looked at. So to sit here and act like it's not is insane. Has Tim Walz made a statement? In regards to the Medicaid, I will look.
This is why. I think it's because when you're talking about Minnesota, there is a general reluctance to not only acknowledge the widespread fraud, but also not having a system in place.
Reluctance by whom?
By whom? By Tim Walz, who tonight says that this is a case of retribution.
On January 14th, Attorney General Keith Ellison announced $3 million in fraud charges against Medicaid providers.
Correct.
On December 18th, the federal government, along with state prosecutor, the state attorney general Keith Ellison, 6 additional defendants charged. 1 pleaded guilty in ongoing fraud schemes.
And
just in the last 90 days, okay?
Yeah,
and these are ongoing investigations. And then on top of that, the U.S. Attorney's Office in Minnesota has lost, a half a dozen more prosecutors, including some of the top prosecutors who were dealing with this very fraud scenario. So who exactly is reluctant to prosecute fraud?
It's not about the reluctance. And even in that clip we just played from...
He just said it was about the reluctance. He just fucking said it is about the reluctance.
Vice President Vance, he's asking.
Chuck, man, you can come up and we could talk about it. I've shown the Nick Shirley clip multiple times. I've shown the news clip talking about the Nick Shirley clip where there were fucking kids there. Seek help.
Or an assurance that you're putting in place a system that actually polices the fraud. And that's the difference between a Texas and a Florida and a Minnesota right now, is that this administration, and if you disagree with this is totally okay and we should have that debate, they believe that those states actually are taking this more seriously based on the system that they have in place.
Why
Minnesota
are they
does
not
not
issuing the same threat to Florida and to Texas?
Because I think
because
they
look,
believe
Anna
that
just pointed out.
is in place.
Anna just pointed out. The busiest office for fraud prosecutions. It's in Florida. Yep. Okay. Why not issue that same threat to say we're gonna turn off the spigot unless you do by the way, unspecified things, because the answer to the question about what exactly they need to do was incredibly vague from the vice president today. So if you're going to withhold them funds, shouldn't you have a clear and detailed plan that states can meet in order to turn those funds back on? Because it's not just monopoly money. This is money that is going to actual human beings.
Yeah, and I think that's... It's not a game. These are real people. I found something on... Let me bring that. All right. Let's read this. Tim Walz accuses Trump of withholding $259 million in Medicaid funds to punish blue states. This is as it happened, updated 14 minutes ago. Or 14 hours ago, excuse me. All right, let's see. J.D. Vance, who's been tasked with leading a Trump administration effort to draw attention to claimed benefit fraud in states led by Democratic governors, said on Wednesday that the federal government will pause reimbursements to the state of Minnesota for certain Medicaid payments. We'll keep reading in a second. Thank you for calling the stream. Age, state, who'd you vote for?
Hello?
Hi, can I get your age, your state, and who you voted for?
Yeah, I'm in Arizona.
Okay.
Trump.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other question?
Your age?
Oh, yeah. I'm 47.
Cool. Why are you still supporting Trump?
Why am I still supporting Trump? I'm not, really.
Oh.
So, well, here's the thing. I think he's a lot better choice than Kamala and Tampon Tim.
Cool. Her name is Kamala. You can say it right, or you can be an asshole. That's my problem. That's your fucking problem that you're an asshole. If you can say Galifianakis, if you can say Tchaikovsky, because you're an asshole. You're not going to call her Kamala and Tampon Tim. And you guys need to come back to reality from the fact that the election is fucking over. So why are you supporting
You're kind
the
of rampaging. I think that's
cool. Anyway, I have more important things to do, guys. I know I have been doing a lot of pay to kicks. I know I haven't been doing that, which is why I really need you guys to support me. I've got 90 left in my goal. I'm not going to have conversations with idiots. I'm just not going to waste my time. I have more important things to do. Thank you for calling the stream. Age, state, who'd you vote for?
My vote doesn't count, but
why?
Let's pretend it does.
Why doesn't your vote count?
Because the popular vote doesn't determine elections at the national level.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like that. But are you supporting Trump?
Fuck no.
Oh, well, WU, I appreciate you. Guys, I am looking for Trump supporters who do call in, though.
I sent you Tim's response unless you want me to read it.
I've got this up. I was waiting to find in it his response. So.
Oh, I have this stuff from Twitter.
Just send that to me.
Yeah, it's in the mod chat.
Okay, cool.
And then a few other ones just for shits and giggles.
I just spoke to you. You're a friendly. I don't need that, but thank you. I appreciate you so very much. Let me find that real quick so I don't miss it. Well, thank you so much, Julius, for the jewels. I appreciate you for that. I also got a $1.99 super chat. Thank you, G8. Parker's just deleted it. But that's Scamala. Cool. Thanks for paying me for you to be dumb. I appreciate that always. All right, let me get this.
Girl, you make me dumb.
Not on that screen. Okay.
Yeah, there's Tim Waltz. That's one of his comments he's made. I can't find any more recent.
It's probably just this one then. All right.
Okay.
This has nothing to do with fraud. The agents Trump allegedly sent to investigate fraud are shooting protesters and arresting children. His DOJ is gutting the U.S. Attorney's Office and crippling their ability to prosecute fraud, and every week Trump pardons another fraudster, which is true. I've gone over that list before as well. They are just pardoning fraudsters. So, again, that is a lovely little lawsuit in the making. So we always appreciate that. That's wonderful. All right, let's move on. I've got a few things on the economy. They're talking to baby back bitch Mark Wayne Mullins about manufacturing, and they just can't help but lie. Again, I say this. You are lying to yourself. You're not lying to me, and I don't understand why you let them lie to you. They think you're stupid, and you just keep proving the fucking point. So, Chuckman, we're not even talking about Fetterman. We're talking about baby back bitch Mark Wayne Mullins. So this is him on manufacturing.
Those are government-created jobs. That's not true economy jobs that's stimulating the economy. When the president starts talking about the investments by bringing back manufacturing, it's not just saying we're going to bring back manufacturing. We've had trillions of dollars committed to rebuilding manufacturing plants right here inside the United States. And that's all happened, by the way, in 12 months.
Well, but manufacturing jobs actually were down for 8 months straight. But
we have trillions of dollars being invested back into the economy to build those manufacturing. We've lost.
Where? Again, where? So not only did he just lie about the increase in manufacturing, and Caitlin Collins had to correct him, and I'll show you that correction, okay? Not only did he just brush past the fact that he lied, so he lied to you, and you guys are totally fine with him lying to you, okay? You see how he moved on from that? She corrected him, and he was like, well, what about the trillions of dollars that are being invested in the economy? Where? Where's the investment in manufacturing? Where? All we've seen is manufacturing being shut down, factories closing.
We've offshored those, Caitlin. For the last 3 decades, we have built other countries' middle class. Why our middle class has suffered. President Trump is actually bringing manufacturing back to the United States, which is going to bring that middle class back, and we should applaud him for that.
We'll see if that's reflected in those manufacturing jobs numbers.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Caitlin. Let's see. Let's see if those are represented in the manufacturing jobs numbers. It's one of my favorite charts. We all know. Monica loves this chart so much. 1 year from January 2025 to now. Remember, this was Liberation Day. I like to show you guys. This was Liberation Day tariffs. Manufacturing. Let me make sure you see. Manufacturing. Jobs. Remember, Mark Wayne Mullins lied to you. Meow. Where's the growth? Now, we're starting to kind of see a jump, but this goes from 12,585 to 12,590. That's not, where is it? Where is the trillions in manufacturing? Where is it? There are jobs everywhere where I live. Chuckman, that's not a good thing. That means there's open jobs that people aren't working. That's what that means. And unemployment isn't bad right now. So that means we need more people. W immigration for them coming in and actually working the fucking jobs we have open. Anyway, so you let them lie to you. It takes time to turn things around. You can't turn the Titanic around overnight, a ship that famously turned around. Yep. All right, last thing on the economy that I have today real quick is going to be, this is somebody that Donald Trump's really, really friendly with. His name is Stephen Moran. He was on with Maria Bartiromo, and he's going to suggest something that as a fucking millennial who graduated in 08, or graduated in 09, but was there for 08, worries the fuck out of me. This is not something you ever want to hear in regards to banking.
Sure. So if you go back to the, before the GFC, banks were a little bit more lightly regulated. And then after the GFC, we went into this, the country as a whole went into
You mean the global financial crisis?
Yeah, sorry, before the global financial crisis. Then after the global financial
What was the global financial crisis? What was that? Does anybody remember? The housing market crashed. Because the housing market was a bubble, but it was nobody thought it was a bubble. I don't want to talk about this. Soroski, by the way, is that Soroski? Soroski, I haven't seen you in forever. Where have you been? We've missed you. I hope you're well. The housing market crashed worldwide. Everybody built their economies on the housing market because they said it was so solid it was never going to crash. Turned out it was also a bubble. and it crashed. I will always advocate for this. If you have not watched The Big Short, watch The Big Short. It is based off of real people. The people who were involved in The Big Short have said that this movie completely accurately represents what happened during that time. Yes, so many people lost their jobs. So many people lost their homes. I would advise you to watch it. Watch The Big Short. I promise you that they literally have celebrities in the film stop, look dead into the camera, break the fourth wall, and explain to you what's going on as it goes on. So it's really not as confusing as you would think it is. It's a wonderful thing to watch. So again, he is talking about the fact, I'll go back. He is talking about the fact that before the GFC, okay, we were deregulated. After it, we regulated, right? We needed to regulate the banks because of what they fucking did when they knew that the subprime mortgages were trash. They knew and they didn't care. They fucking knew the whole time. So we had to regulate them. Well, what's he going to advocate for, I wonder?
See, banks were a little bit more lightly regulated, and then after the GFC, we went into this, the country as a whole went into
You mean the global financial crisis?
Yeah, sorry, before the global financial crisis. Then after the global financial crisis, we started regulating the banks, and then we kept on adding more and more and more and more regulations for over 10 years. And we got to the point where the banks are just, in my view, overregulated, and that harms credit creation, that harms the ability of the banks to lend into the economy. And so I think what Vice Chairwoman Bowman has been doing in terms of right-sizing the regulatory apparatus is completely the right thing. I'm a big supporter of her agenda. We've made a lot of progress, and I think you're going to see her go into a lot more details about the progress we have yet to make coming around the corner.
I mean, people want to...
Sure.
He wants to deregulate the banks again. He wants to deregulate the banks again. Which, that's an interesting theory I've never heard. He said that J.P. Morgan had the Titanic sunk in order to create the Federal Reserve. Okay. He had it sunk? He placed that iceberg there? He had Ismay get on the boat that he was going to crash. He had the captain crash it with the biggest funders on the boat. You have to take the tinfoil off, sweetheart. Take it off. It's okay. We promise we'll be here. All right. Is everybody ready? I don't think we're ever ready. It's our favorite golden retriever on the floor when he does his polling. This is going to be his polling in regards to how Trump is doing in 2 Great Lakes swing states. So we're going to talk about some swing state polling that we've got going on.
As Wisconsin and Pennsylvania go, so go the nation. And right now, the president is going down like Sonny Liston. What are we talking about here? Okay, Trump's net approval rating, key swing states in Wisconsin, down negative 10 points. Of course, he won that state by about a point back in 2024. How about Pennsylvania? Down to negative 15 points on the net approval rating in Pennsylvania, a state he won in 2016 and 2024, lost in 2020. As I said, as go Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, so goes the nation. In this case, Donald Trump is going down. What is driving President Trump down? It's his handling of the economy. It's this thing that we're seeing nationally impacting in the key swing states. Because just take a look here. Okay, Trump and the economy, swing state voters. Pennsylvania, Trump's economic disapproval rating, 56%. That doesn't work for Republicans. That doesn't work for Donald Trump either. How about in Wisconsin? Say Trump's policies raise inflation. Again, you get the majority, 53%. These numbers tracking very closely with how those voters feel overall in those 2 key swing states. And again, Donald Trump underwater, his economic disapproval, well more than a majority at this point. And look at this. Say Trump's policies raise inflation 53%. How do you work with that if you're Donald Trump or Republican?
So sorry.
How much did he pay for that?
He didn't pay anything for that. I just wanted to show it to shame him. Titanic never hit an iceberg. Sure.
I'm a jump.
Anyway, Chuckman, you need to get up here. You've got about 2 minutes to get up here, or else you're just going to be muted for the live because I'm done with you. All right, now we're going to do some polling from Harry Enton about Texas.
Something is going on in Texas. Primaries are March 3rd. That's next week. There is a really interesting phenomenon happening, though, among who is voting. Let's get to CNN Chief Data Analyst Harry Enton. We're not even exactly talking about the candidates here, which is why it might be even more important.
No. Mind blown, to quote.
Maybe we're going to talk about the Titanic, maybe. I don't know. Thank you for calling the stream. Age, state, who'd you vote for?
I voted for Trump.
Okay, can I get your age and state,
I did.
please?
I did. Sorry, what was that?
Can I get your age and the state you voted in, please?
Washington State, and I'm 42.
All right. Why are you still supporting Trump?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like a thing where do I really have a choice?
Yeah, you don't
I mean,
have
I'm kind
to.
of living.
You don't have to support him just because you voted for him. You can make a decision that you no longer support his policies or his lack of action, and you don't have to support him anymore.
Well, I mean, I kind of agree with a lot of it that he's doing, though. I mean, there's some things I don't agree with, but
Sure.
there's some things I do agree with.
So can you name one thing
Like,
you
for
agree
example,
with,
like
and we can talk about it?
Okay, so my wife's an immigrant.
Okay.
I brought her here through the K-1 visa program. I did everything, like I did it like the legal way.
Yeah, the 90-day fiance way. I know about that.
I'm
I'm not saying you don't know her.
Yeah.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying. The show made it popular, right? We know about the K1. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I did it before that whole thing.
No,
I
it's been
actually have
around.
never seen
Yeah.
that show, but
No, it's
yeah,
been
I've never
around.
seen that
You're
show.
totally
But just so if you know anything about the immigration process, have you gone through it at all? Have you done any?
No,
like,
but I
research
read
into it?
read a lot about it, and I know that K1's not the only way to come here.
Right. You got the B1, the B2, the J1, J2, and all that.
Sure.
So
Asylum. You have refugee
for example,
status.
right. So when my wife came, I had to go down there and everything like that. I had met her before this, so we knew each other for years before we got married. So
Sure.
I guess I'm kind of like one of these outlying cases, but when we first went into the visa appointment, our first visa appointment together, I was at the embassy in her country, and literally the first question they asked her was, "Can you continue? Are you okay continuing this conversation in English?" And it was basically for them to say, like, "Hey, if something happens to you in this country, are you okay? Would you be able to find your way around here? Like, can you understand the language?"
Sure.
So, like, a lot of people saying that it's racist for them to ask those questions and stuff. To some degree, I do agree with that, because it's like, look, if you're hiring like a person from India who's in the tech industry and they don't maybe quite know English, but they know computers really well,
Sure.
I think it is a little bit racist to like neglect them just because because that's something you can learn better when you get here. It's like
And it's a hard language
a lot
to
of
learn.
times.
So yeah.
And it's not only that, it's like situational learning. So like if you were to go like right now, tell me to speak to you in Spanish, I won't be able to. But like if you put me in like Mexico, it just comes out of you, right? Because it's
Right.
I don't
So,
know.
I mean, for an anecdotal example, I worked at McDonald's for over
Right.
5 years, and a majority of the people that I worked with were Spanish speakers. And though I do not
Okay.
speak Spanish, I understand a lot of it very easily. And I learned how to speak what I needed to learn for working in a food setting, right? Like I learned how to say onion, how to say pickle, how to say mustard. Like you learn the things that you need to learn.
Yeah, exactly. Like where's the bathroom? Donde está el baño? Right.
Right. You learn the things you need to learn.
So, okay, so just not to like digress from that too much, but like, okay, so my wife had to go through like years of these English classes. We had to go through visa appointments. I mean, it cost us a lot of money.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Like all said and done, like I had to prove 3 different times that we're in love. I had to send 3 different giant packets to, and this is going on under the Obama administration, mind you.
No, yeah, and it's
And
one of those things where
there
if
was
she
just, like-
applies for adjustment of status and leaves you, and I would hope that would never happen. But if it did happen, you were still responsible as her sponsor for another 10 years after her coming here.
Yeah, it's called I-864 affidavit of support is what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So she had to go through all of these like hoops. I mean, the biometrics, they pricked her finger. They had to strip search her. I mean, like, and then you get these people, and I'm not judging them, but it's like, bro, she had to go through all this stuff just to get here. And then not only that, going to college in a
Hold
third
on.
world country.
I'm gonna help you
is-
land this plane. What you are doing is you're giving me they cut in line, but can you prove to me that they're cutting in line in any way and it's taking less time?
No. Okay, first of all, second of all, my wife is only the first example. I'm only using that as kind of like an example. But
Sure, you're tokenizing your wife. I get that. Let's land the plane, though.
I mean, it is.
It's
it
not.
Is true though.
It's
that
not. It's not. There are multiple lines for different kinds of visas, as you are well aware of, and so nobody.
Yeah, but
nobody is cutting
if
in
they're
line.
coming across the border and they're not standing in any line.
They are. They're standing in the asylum
illegally.
line. No, they're not. They are standing in the asylum line. That's the line that they are standing in. How long on average is it taking for asylum claims right now?
Well, isn't asylum defined as like if they go back, that it's under some exigent circumstances where they're in immediate life danger? That's basically.
They are claiming, which is what their court process would be to determine that they are claiming that they are fleeing from something unsafe in their country.
Well, what would that be?
That's up to them to give to their credible fear screening in front of the CBP officer, and then if they pass that, that would be for them to determine by an immigration judge. That's not for me or you to determine, but what I'm saying is that they have a separate line from the line your wife had. They also have to pay their own fees.
So you're saying that that there's like millions and millions and millions of people who are going to claim that just so that they can get asylum? I mean, that doesn't seem fair.
They don't get it. But the thing is there's you are not understanding. Okay, I understand that you know a lot about the system for your wife, but I don't think you understand the system of asylum. It is over a 60% denial rate for the people who apply. They are not given it. They're given temporary protected status while they wait for the court hearings.
I mean, doesn't that mean they're being scrutinized valuably? I mean,
no, I agree. No. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying that is the denial rate. I think that's totally fine. I think that's good. I don't have any issue with that. But you already said the word millions. What does that mean? Are you trying to say that millions came in? If so, give me the source on that.
But it's not only Latinos. There's other people who want to come to this country as well. And
sure, give me the source that millions of people came in.
Okay. I'll give you another example. My brother-in-law, the guy my sister married, is undocumented.
I literally don't care. Just give me the source. Just give me the source that they're cutting in line in any way.
Well, I mean, it's not that they're cutting in that line, but it's like they're coming across illegally without biometrics.
They're not. That's not true.
And those rules are put in place to keep us safe.
That's
you and
not
I.
true. Do asylum seekers have to go through a port of entry?
I'm not sure. I don't know why they would try to seek asylum.
I would advise you to read 8 USC 1158, where they can come whether or not at a port of arrival, and regardless of their status, can apply for asylum. W to Jedi for the Swan.
Stop looking at me.
Also, Real Trumps. Apparently, you had gotten muted for spamming, but thank you for the $5 super chat. You said, when you have the capacity to simply talk over truth without shame, you're no better than those you complain about. Don't silence dissent. Hypocrite. Too bad, so sad. Keep getting silenced. I don't care. I'm not a coward. Okay, for the YouTube, because they can't see it, real quick. For the YouTube, I do a $10 or a swan to kick. On TikTok, they sent me a swan. A little gosling became a swan. They were done listening to him. What do you want from me? He also doesn't know anything about asylum, so how are you going to speak on it, getting in the way of other people's claims, if you haven't read about it?
So, is he saying the K-1 visa is the only way to come into the U.S.?
No, because he listed other ones. He listed other ones, so he knows that's not true.
These people make no sense.
Thank you for calling the stream. Age, state, who'd you vote for?
Hey, how you doing? I'm Patrick.
Okay, can I get your age, your state, and who you voted for?
Hold on one second. I'm in Nevada. I'm 35. I voted for Donald Trump.
All right. Why are you still supporting Trump?
Hold on, but so I'm supporting him because I do not believe that borders should be open. Are you arguing, just out of a question, are you arguing that illegal immigration is good for the country?
I'm arguing that immigration is good for the country. I don't think you guys know what makes it illegal. I have no problem with following our immigration law as it is. Do you know the title that our immigration law is under?
No, I do not.
Okay, so that's going to be Title 8. So I would urge you to look that up, because the problem is a lot of people speak on asylum and they speak on illegal immigration, which is not even a term that DHS uses in regards to the law, and they just don't understand. They just listen to people talk about it and they don't actually look it up themselves.
Okay.
That's where I have an issue.
Okay, so you were asking for sources on how many illegal immigrants have entered the country, I believe?
Yeah.
In like the last 6 years, I guess?
So do under the Biden administration, sure.
Okay, so I have like 50 different sources that all state anywhere from 6 million to 14 million illegal immigrants have entered the country in the last 6 years. Would you like all of those sources?
Oh, just give me one to start with.
We'll go usafacts.org.
And what's the title?
Statistics on unauthorized U.S. immigration.
Sure, let me bring that up so we can look at it. Why is it not giving me? I see. I hate AI overviews so much. I can't even tell you. Okay. See, those are encounters. I need. So what does the title of your page look like? Because I looked that up and I'm not finding that title.
So it's like what does it look like? It's a purple background.
So usafacts.org, but statistics on unauthorized immigration.
Here, maybe I can put the link in the live.
I'm not going to be able to click it. So again, just read the title to me again. usafacts.org, statistics on unauthorized immigration. Was that it?
No, well, that was the source, right? But so the actual official title is, what can the data tell us about unauthorized immigration?
Right. Cool. That was the title I was looking for. Awesome. Okay, I found that page. So now where are you finding the, let's Command F, let's do 6. So we can find 6 million here.
And that's like, just one of like 50. How many illegals do you think?
We're going to find this because right now, what I'm seeing right now is it's talking about encounters. It's not talking about actual people who came in. So we're talking about border encounters. So 11 million border encounters between October 2019 and June 2024.
Wait. Hold on a second. Yeah. If they're talking about encounters, correct, isn't it safe to say that the number of illegals actually entering is far higher than the number of encounters?
No.
I mean, that just goes to
how would you
stand to reason.
How would you have that context added onto it?
That's pretty obvious. So if you're getting encounters, that's only the people that you encounter.
Right. That's an invisible
so obviously
boogeyman
a lot more people. Hold on. So this is basic logic.
No. Here, I hear this argument all the time. Here's the thing, okay? We need to stop and go over what encounters are, because encounters, again, are not people who came in, right? These are people who were stopped. So they did not come in. So your number already that you gave me on this first source is wrong. 1. 2. You are adding context to numbers. Now, were the encounters high under the Biden administration? Absolutely. You are adding the context to say that because so many were caught coming in, that we missed an entire boogeyman number of higher that came in as well.
I mean, that just stands to reason.
So what I can say is, actually, now that the numbers are lower, I think that more people are just not being caught by Border Patrol because he's not getting as many as the Biden administration did. Do you see how adding your own opinion and fifis and context to stats doesn't do anything for anybody?
No, actually, I don't see that. I see
that's you adding context. That is you adding context that doesn't exist.
Can we both talk?
No,
do you just
that is you adding context that doesn't exist.
You just talk over people like most YouTubers?
You are going to.
It's just talking over
because
people?
You're not going to
is
add
that all
context.
You do?
You're not going to add
context. Is that
context.
all you do? Well, that's what you're doing right now. You're literally adding context right now as we speak. You're literally doing what you just said not to do.
I didn't.
You're adding context.
When did I ever...
Okay, if you can do it, why can I not do it?
I said I was giving you an example of what you were doing and saying I could do the opposite. I'm not saying I believe that. I didn't say I believe that. I'm saying that would be the opposite context of what you're doing. Pay attention. Pay attention. Keep up, boo-boo.
Oh, my gosh. Listen, being condescending does not win you a debate.
I'm not trying to win, and this is not a debate. A debate, I'm not trying to win. A debate would have a proper intro from both sides. A debate would also have a ending, a conclusion on both sides. This is not a debate.
Are you autistic or something? You know what a debate is.
This is not a debate. This is not a debate. This is a conversation.
It is.
This is a conversation. And again, you have not shown me where 6 to 14 million people came into the country. You have shown me encounters.
I'm sure you've heard this one.
All right, W Jedi. Again, capitalism got you. You guys can be mad about that on YouTube all you want. I don't care. Be smarter. You said 6 to 14 million came in. Show me those numbers. And don't be ableist. Even if I was autistic. I don't know, I might be. I might be undiagnosed. That's not your fucking business, is it? Okay, glad we got that through. Be smarter. That's it. Thank you for calling the stream. Age, state, who'd you vote for?
Trump.
Can I get your age and state, please?
36, California.
How old are you? I'm sorry?
36.
Okay. Why are you still supporting Trump? That's a rough 36.
I don't know if I'm supporting him, but I think he was better than the other candidate.
Cool. I don't talk about the election because that was a fucking year ago. So I don't know why we're still talking about that. You guys like died and are haunting November of 2024. Cool. The guy won. Why are you still supporting him now?
Because he's doing good.
With what? Name one thing we can talk about it.
Tariffs?
Tariffs. What is a tariff?
It's a taxation on a company.
Oh, can you show me where through anything regarding the IRS or anything like that that shows that tariffs are paid for by another country?
No, off the top of my head, I sure can't.
Sure. So why did Scott Besson admit that tariffs are actually paid for by the importing company, and then if it's passed down through to the consumers are paying for it?
Maybe because he has an agenda himself.
Do you know who Scott... Okay. You just hung up. By the way, Scott Besson works within the administration for Trump. You guys need help. You guys need help. I know. That's why your top search after the election, since you guys died and stayed there, I'll help you out. The next day after the election, your guys' top 2 searches were, what is a tariff and can I change my vote? Anyway. Back to Harry Enton in Texas, guys. W Jedi, by the way. Thank you so much for the swans. I appreciate you so much. Those people have been insufferable today, haven't they? Again, factual-based evidence and not your fifis. Those are the kind of conversations I have. Back to our favorite little Red Bull golden retriever, Harry Enton, with Texas polling.
The show Blossom Joey. Whoa! I mean, look at this. Okay, share of Texas midterm primary ballots at this point in the cycle cast in Democratic primaries or Republican primaries. In 2022, the last midterm, overwhelmingly, the votes were being cast.
You guys don't want to hear how good Texas is going for you? Thank you for calling the stream. H-State, who'd you vote for?
Hey, it's me again.
Republican primary, 62%. But look at what's going on now in the 2026 cycle. More votes are being cast on the Democratic side. What a shift from where we were 4 years ago at this point. More people in Texas picking up the Democratic ballot.
More Democrats are voting in Texas than Republicans. I mean, how unusual is that?
Just how unusual. Well, you see the massive shift from 2022. But look at history. Go all the way back. When was the
I just got called Sarah Silverman again.
last time that more people actually picked up a Democratic ballot, cast a ballot in a Democratic primary in Texas in a midterm? You have to go all the way back to 2002. So this could break an over 20-year stretch, my goodness gracious, whereby more people are actually voting on the Democratic side. And I will note, it really hasn't even been close since 2002. Overwhelmingly more people have been voting on the Republican side in Texas. And this year so far, more people are voting on the Democratic side.
This is different, very different with a capital V in this case. So we still have a few days to go here. What are the chances? What are the prediction markets saying about the chances this will stick?
Okay, so we're only really been talking about the early vote. But if you look at the Kalshi prediction market, what you actually see is the chance to have higher Texas primary turnout. Right now, the people putting their money where their mouth is actually slightly predict that there will be more votes cast on the Democratic side than on the Republican side, 60% to 40%, still a close race. But given that Republicans have been so outvoting Democrats in Texas, the idea that more people could actually vote on the Democratic side in Texas, again, as I said at the top, whoa.
Carrie Enton, I can't with your noise. Whoa. But again, don't rest on your laurels if you guys are in Texas. Make sure early voting had already started. If you have not gone and voted in your primaries, you need to. March 3rd is your primary day. That's voting day for your primaries is March 3rd. Make sure you are going out and doing that. Don't rest on what the fucking polls say. Don't rest on what fucking Kalshi says, fucking betting markets say. Get your ass up and do your fucking job. Be an accountable fucking voter. Do your job and vote. Check your voter registration. Yes, Miss Libby. Check your voter registration. They are purging voter rolls in Texas. I have seen videos from multiple women who have said they have come in and their voting has been suspended and they're having to fight with the election offices to get their voter registration back. They are trying to silence that. Make sure you're doing your job if you are in Texas. Okay. Let's go to... Wanted to get to this story. We haven't talked much about it. So, Oh, real quick before we do that, actually, because this will be a heavy subject, but before we move on to that, guys, thank you so much, Tappers, by the way, for getting us to, we are now 56,000 likes. I appreciate you guys so much. I think we're definitely well on our way to hitting that 100,000 like mark before we hit noon, so thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys for that. I still have 14 left of the little, like, finger hearts. Wrong way. Finger hearts, if you guys could fill those out for me, it would be amazing. If you have not shared the live out, if you have not done your daily heart me, do that as well. Guys, I have 9-0 left in my goal. If you guys could help knock that out, I would really, really appreciate it. We've been really slacking on that, and I need your guys' support. I really, really do. I'm still trying to save for a fucking car. I'm still not having my SNAP application process, so we have to get food out of pocket right now. Like, I would really appreciate it if you guys could help a bitch out for being here for you guys.
I'll go live if you guys at least break it halfway. If you do more, I'll be longer for a live.
So I would appreciate it if you guys could do that. Okay. Trigger warning here for, I guess you call it stalking, sexual harassment, and self-unaliving. So I'm going to give those trigger warnings out for people. This is the story about the U.S. Congressman Tony Gonzalez. So this is Republican Tony Gonzalez. U.S. Congressman refuses to resign after allegations of affair with staffer. He allegedly pressured Regina Ann Santos Aviles, who died by suicide, into a sexual relationship. So he has refused growing calls from his fellow Republicans. I will play those videos too. On Tuesday to resign amid a furor over allegations that he had an affair with a staffer who later died by suicide. Gonzalez has been accused of sending sexually explicit text messages in which he appeared to pressure the senior staffer to share images of herself and eventually coerced her into a sexual relationship. The Texas Republican who is running for re-election told reporters on Tuesday that he was not going to resign. There will be an opportunity for all the details and facts to come out. What you've seen is not all the facts, and there will be ample time for all of that to come out, he said. Congressman Thomas Massie of Kentucky joined Lauren Boebert of Colorado, Anna Paulina Luna of Florida, Nancy Mace of South Carolina, and other Republicans in demanding that Gonzalez step down immediately over the allegations. It followed calls from Texas Republicans Brandon Gill and Chip Roy for his resignation on Monday. Quote, "America deserves better," said Gill, endorsing Gonzalez's main opponent. Tony should drop out of the race. So I'll have the video on this, but I will say Mace also announced that she has introduced a resolution to force the House Ethics Committee to publicly release its wider reports and records of allegations of sexual harassment against members of Congress. We'll get into Mike Johnson's statements as well. So Gonzalez is in the midst of a bruising re-election campaign that is now in turmoil. He faces a tough Republican primary challenge on March 3rd, because he's in, where he is, which could ultimately lead to the loss of his seat, with his main GOP rival being Brandon Herrera, a gun manufacturer and gun rights influencer who almost unseated him in 2024. The race is in such disarray that there's even chatter of a possible chance for Democrats to flip the seat. So if you guys are in that district, make sure you're doing your job. Pay attention. The three-term congressman has denied the affair and previously said on social media that he is being blackmailed and called the allegations a political smear. But he has not addressed newly released text messages in which he appeared to ask the former staffer for intimate photos and discuss sex acts. The Guardian reached out to Gonzalez for comment but did not immediately receive a response. The San Antonio Express News first reported last week that it had obtained text messages in which the former staffer, Regina Ann Santos Aviles, wrote to a colleague that she had an affair with the married lawmaker. The paper has since published further text messages that Gonzalez allegedly sent to Santos Aviles 35 in May of last year, including one sent at 12:15 a.m. on May 9th that said, "Send me a sexy pic." In further messages, the father of 6 reportedly went on to ask her about her favorite sex positions and to fantasize about having sex with her. According to a number of Texas media reports, Santos Aviles said Gonzalez was going too far. In a message to another staffer, it was reported that Santos Aviles wrote, quote, "I had an affair with our boss." Santos Aviles, a married mother of an 8-year-old son, died in September after setting herself on fire in the backyard of her home in Uvalde, Texas. Her death was later ruled a suicide. Yes. So, there's going to be an aspect of, did she have an affair with him? Maybe. But some of the text messages that we're seeing also, there is coercion and there is a power dynamic to that relationship with her being a staffer. That is an issue. And unfortunately, Republicans don't seem to give a fuck. So we're going to go to Mike Johnson being asked about the calls for his resignation. By the way, if you're on headphones, it's coming out of one side of my ear. Apologize for that. It's coming out of my left ear. I hate the freaking like mono audio when that happens.
Why should Tony Gonzalez resign, given these very serious accusations?
There are serious accusations, and it must be taken seriously. And I've told him he's got to address that with his constituents, and he's in the process of doing that. Is my understanding. There's an investigation in the state of Texas on these matters, and has been going for some time. And the Office of Congressional Conduct has also, it's been reported, they've been looking at it. All of that was news to me. But I think, as in every case like this, you have to allow the investigations to play out and all the facts to come out. I've been intellectually consistent about this. Whether you're talking about Republicans or Democrats, you have to let the system play out. If someone, I was against, for example, the expulsion of George Santos a while back, because he had been accused of a crime and indicted but not found guilty.
Oh, what happened to George Santos and those indictments, by the way? What happened to that? Oh, he was convicted of fraud, and then Trump pardoned him, and he is now working within one of the fucking departments in the government, so that's fun.
If the accusation of something is going to be the litmus test for someone being able to continue to serve in the House, you'll have a lot of people who would have to resign or be removed or expelled from Congress. So I think you've got to allow this to play out. I think it is very serious. The allegations are clearly very serious. And Tony Gonzalez will address it. I think he will.
Does he deserve to win re-election? Does he deserve to win re-election?
See you later, guys.
Jedi, you're right. Now they care about due process. Well, since Mike Johnson's not really going to say it, it's fine. We'll get to Troy Nehls is going to really give us the reason why they don't want him to resign, right? Which is going to be because it's a numbers game in Congress right now, and they've already lost so much support and so many seats. Remember that 20% of the Republican seats were flipped last year alone in special elections. So midterms is going to be a bloodbath for them. But this is the real reason they don't want Tony to resign.
He's not been indicted for anything. Does it look good? No. I don't like the appearance of it. He's got a problem here. Don't get me wrong. The optics are horrible. But I would in no way ever resign right now. If he does
accusations are really bad.
Accusations aren't enough. If he does that, then you got to give the gavel to Hakeem Jeffries. Now, I'm sure the Democrats would.
That's more important to them. That is more important to them than a man who is being accused of sexually harassing a staffer who later set herself on fire. We don't want to give the gavel to Hakeem Jeffries.
That's if that is the only reason why that they don't want to prosecute, I think Trump supporters should look into the reason why they're not letting out more information from the e-files. I'm like, again, Hillary and Bill are currently going to be questioned and questioned by questioned.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I want them to ask all the questions they can. I want them to deep dive into both Hillary and Bill. I want them to go through it all and for everyone to know what's going on.
But
I don't get it.
My problem is that with this particular situation, this specific situation, the fact that they are more concerned about who is in charge of the gavel in Congress versus harm being done to women by Congress people who have women as staffers is a fucking problem. But I'll let him finish.
Love that. I would love that, but no, I wouldn't do that for any reason.
But aren't some things bigger than politics?
What the heck? No. No. Not up here. Not the way what we do in the House.
Some things are not bigger than politics. Apparently, that would be harm to women. Apparently, that's also harm to children. Not shocked by that.
It's a Republican motto, I guess.
But here's a Republican. We have Nancy Mace and Anna Paulina Luna. Nancy Mace, like I read in that article, is going to be proposing that you they have to release all the records of accusations of sexual abuse and sexual harassment that have happened from Congress people. That is something she is proposing to put onto the floor along with others. So again, Anna Paulina Luna, you've got Lauren Boebert, you've got Thomas Massie joining that call as well. The Democratic side, I haven't seen anybody going against that. So, that's, what does that tell you? Matt Gaetz. Why did Kevin McCarthy leave? Matt Gaetz. So they're going to talk about the fact that they already know that they're going to get Republican pushback and that they're going to try and kill it in committee because that's what they do. That's what they tried to do with the Epstein Transparency Act. They tried to leave it in committee so it would not go anywhere. So we're listening to them.
Congresswoman, you've called for the resignation of Tony Gonzalez. Have you heard anything back from leadership?
No, we haven't, and I filed a resolution last night to publicly expose all the sexual harassment violations of members of Congress. I'll file it as privilege next week.
Okay, got it. And
I'll force a vote on it.
how quickly could a vote come?
2 days, I mean, a day or two after. I'll file on the 4th, we'll probably vote on the 5th.
Is this something like the Epstein files? It's going to take months and months and months to see those.
They'll probably just refer it to committee and sweep it under the rug like they always do.
Where it'll die. Where it will die. Everything goes to die in committee.
Yep.
But if it's going to die in the committee, then how can the American people, how can Texans, his constituents specifically, know what happened?
Voters are going to have to turn out against him or, force him to resign. I mean, I don't know how he moves forward. It was disgusting. It was shameful. And it's why many women feel like second-class citizens. And we just got to say no more. He's got to go.
Thank you so much, Congresswoman.
Thank you.
But you back but
no, I know, I understand, but we're gonna take the support that we're getting in that instance here. I understand. She's a TERF. We know that.
Yeah.
We know that. But if that's something that's going to give us bipartisan support on a vote for something like this in Congress, that's Nancy Mace. She's a transphobe. She's the one who claimed that she was attacked in the bathroom by McBride. The camera held so steady. They did. Somebody in the YouTube chat said Hakeem Jeffries has been accused of sexual abuse multiple times, including rape. I would love to see that. Go investigate him and get rid of him too. It seems to be a problem with men.
No, I agree. Like it
seems to be a problem with men. Nancy Mace is pathetic. She also has trauma from an essay before. But if that proves to be something bipartisan that we can get past, I'm all for that. This is politics. You have to work with the devil to get things done. So this is kind of just a montage of other Republicans. Believe that's the motherfucker who took pictures with his kids with guns for Christmas cards.
Looks like him.
He's the absolute shitbag. Again, most of these people are shitbags in other aspects, but they're on board for this. Again, it becomes like an Epstein thing. The people who are on board versus the people who aren't. And that's who you need to pay attention to.
Male harassing a female employee.
Before I'll start that over. By the way, also thank you so much to Ashby for the 5 on the Blue app. Just here to be a menace. Thank you, W Ashby. And
W Ashby. Also, guys, come on, we can do a lot better with the gift goals and stuff like that. Can we hold down our screen and share? Let's make sure we're reposting. Let's make sure we add this to our stories, and let's knock down the goal. You guys knocked out mine. Let's keep doing that.
Male harassing a female employee. I just can't stomach it, dude. I got a wife and a daughter. It needs to go.
Tony Gonzalez needs to resign. It's a disgusting pig. The speaker should do something about it.
Obviously, Tony has a lot of reflection to do, and it's obviously going to be something that will likely...
I don't know why they listed that as Lauren Boebert. That's Anna Paulina Luna. That's not Boebert.
impact our margins, but I don't make an excuse for what he did, and I would encourage him to consider resigning it.
Given what I've seen so far, he should resign.
Male harassment.
His voice sounds like when you put tinfoil in a fan.
Yeah, kind of does.
Like, what the fuck? Sorry, guys.
Speaking of abuse of women and
sorry.
children and Epstein, we're going to talk about the fact, which I had brought up the other day in an article, that there has been an NPR investigation into the fact that there have been, and even Congress people who are part of the Oversight Committee have said that there have been files that were released and redacted, and there were files that they knew were in there that are missing now. And these files are in regards to accusations made against Trump by girls as young as 13. First, accurate almost sounded like.
That's wild. I'll take my wins.
Look, a dino. Okay. Also, guys, I know it's difficult, but if we could light up my gift gallery, that would be fucking wonderful as we get to the end of the week. Lighting that up would also be great. So we're going to move.
I almost want to do it again. Sorry, I'll shut up.
So this is Representative Dave Min, a Democrat from California. He is part of the Oversight Committee. The Oversight Committee were the original committee that came together who subpoenaed the Epstein estate to get us things like the birthday book, right? These information that Trump lied about and said he never wrote in the birthday book, and yet here we are. Oh, sorry, I did not realize that the phone line was off that whole time. I was wondering why you guys were so quiet.
It was my sound.
It was the sound.
They're like, damn, she does sound like Nancy Mace. Whoever the fuck that white guy was.
Oh, yeah. Burchett. Tim Burchett.
Sorry. I'll shut up.
So this is
Shut up.
Representative Dave Min again. So the Oversight Committee were some of the first people to get us any kind of transparency and information by subpoenaing the Epstein estate in and of itself. Now that we have the Epstein Transparency Act, they're supposed to be releasing the files, including to this Oversight Committee, and they are saying shit's missing.
They are not responding to the law, and at this point, I think it appears clearer and clearer every day that they are knowingly violating and willfully violating the law that we passed, that Donald Trump signed into law, requiring them to turn over every responsive document. And I want to be clear, just to clarify two things that I think you alluded to. One, Donald Trump is accused of sexually assaulting a child in those memos that you mentioned. Two, that it's not just a few dozen documents that are not being turned over. Fully half of the documents that we're aware of, some 3 million documents, have not been turned over by the DOJ. They claim they fully responded, and yet we've found over and over again, and I can tell you that Oversight Democratic staff have confirmed what you have found, that these documents are missing. They were not turned over, even though they were very clearly responsive to the questions that we asked. And this appears to be part of a very broad cover-up. And you may remember back to last May, when Pam Bondi reportedly told Donald Trump he was in the Epstein files. After that, there were a lot of reports that DOJ attorneys were being asked to go redact documents, to hide documents, to remove documents from the files that had Donald Trump's name. So we're definitely continuing to look at this, but it appears that the DOJ is willfully violating the law.
Lakin, I'll see that. I'll find a place to put it. I don't like breaking up the outline because then we get confused. So, but I'll find a place to put that. Thank you for sharing that.
I saw stuff about this.
But I just don't like throwing breaking news into the middle of things. All right, so Robert Garcia, who is also one of the people who's on that oversight committee, is demanding interviews and information and releasing of these fucking documents. Because what the fuck are we doing? Like, if there are documents that are accusing anyone of harming a child, whether that's the fucking president or not, we should be fucking looking at it.
A survivor that has made serious accusations and allegations against not just Jeffrey Epstein, but also against President Trump, and about abuse that she suffered when she was a minor. We have seen the DOJ files and the archive manifest that clearly shows that the interviews and information around this survivor have been removed and are missing from the DOJ files. Where are these files? Who removed them? Those questions have to be answered. What we have is a survivor that we have verified, that others have verified, and those files are missing. And it's not just those. It's an additional 50% of files that are missing. It is unconscionable, it is illegal, and Pam Bondi and the president need to answer to where those files are.
That's it. We just do the thing. Hi, Mia. Do the thing you're supposed to do. Investigate. That's all we're asking you to do. Do your job. Is investigate everything. So, as we know, Howard Lutnick lied, right, when he told the New York Post in an interview that he met Epstein once because they were neighbors down in Florida and said he was sick and he was never going to visit him again. Well, he took his entire family to the island, so we know that he lied. And people asked if he should resign, and Trump and Mike Johnson and everybody else said no, he shouldn't. So now we're going to ask Comer, who is the person in charge of this committee who is asking the questions to Hillary today, to Bill tomorrow. They're asking him if they need to bring in Lutnick to come in and be questioned, which is a good question, I think.
So in the spirit of bipartisanship, would you then ask the Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick to come testify? It seems like he has some information.
That's very possible, and I think I think it's a good possibility that his name will arise in some questioning today.
Oh, so you think you are going to question him then?
I just sent you another one. I guess this is still trying to figure this out. I'm still digging though. I think I don't know if it's in your outline. I don't think it is, but I put it in mod chat.
Okay. And then we have give me the video. All right. Now they're going to ask Comer about that NPR investigation in regards to these files that are fucking missing. These files that talk about implications with Trump are missing. Now, again, I'm not saying as YouTube's over here freaking the fuck out. This is not me saying that he is guilty of anything. I'm just saying there's smoke. We should investigate the smoke. That's all I'm saying. And that's in regards to anybody. I don't know how many times I've fucking said this. Bill Clinton's going to be deposed literally tomorrow. They deposed Les Wexner now twice. Let's do Howard Lutnick. Let's do Bill Gates. Let's do all of the people, Leon Black. Let's do all the people that were surrounding Epstein. Well, guess what? Trump was in those fucking circles. So he should probably be questioned, or at the very least, since you can't question a president for some reason, we should probably be investigating the information that we have.
Are you concerned that there has been a cover-up of sexual abuse of a minor by President Trump? There are missing FBI records that appear to be.
No, we're looking into the accusation by the NPR. We don't know the answer to that. We know what the administration says. We're still looking to get a definitive answer on that.
Are you concerned that there has been a cover?
So maybe get that information out there, James Comer. Yeah, we'll look at that later. And then, what else do we have here? Oh, and then I wasn't going to play that because I don't really give a fuck about what the lawyers for Hillary Clinton are saying, but they just repeated what I said this morning, which is the fact that she says she has no information on Epstein's crimes and that she didn't meet him. So nothing's really going on. It's just an article, guys. What do you mean what is going on? Okay. Now I want to move to, we're going to finish out this outline that I have here today. We're going to move on to the Surgeon General nominee. She's been the nominee for a while, but she was on maternity leave. So they haven't gotten a chance to question her for her appointment, right? The senators get to question her on whether they're going to appoint her or not. Her name is Casey Means. She's a doctor. She has an inactive license. But she was asked by Senator Tim Kaine about her views in regards to the flu vaccine. Just again, every single time we've seen them speaking in front of committees or them having appointment hearings, everything is like obfuscation. Everything is don't answer the question. It's what everything fucking is.
In a news report on January 7, just a month or so ago, Secretary Kennedy stated, quote, "There is no evidence that the flu vaccine prevents serious disease or that it prevents hospitalization or deaths in children." Do you agree with that statement?
Senator Kaine, as I've said, I believe vaccines save lives and are an important part of our...
But I'm not asking about the general. I heard that testimony earlier, but the statement is there is no evidence that the flu vaccine, and I want to be scrupulous about this, prevents serious disease or that it prevents hospitalization or death in children. You're an MD. Your qualifications have been much discussed earlier. Do you agree with the statement that there's no evidence that the flu vaccine prevents serious disease or that it prevents hospitalizations or death in children?
I have not personally seen that quote or that article. I would
Let's
want to review it before I comment on that.
Okay, I'm gonna set the quote aside. I'll introduce for the record an article, CBS News. RFK Jr. says it may be better if fewer children receive the flu vaccine, dated January 7, 2026.
Without objection.
Let me set aside the quote and set aside Secretary Kennedy and set aside the article.
Well, it was. It's not anymore.
There is evidence
It still
that the flu
counts.
vaccine prevents serious disease and prevents hospitalization or deaths in children.
I believe that all patients should talk to their doctors.
She was the one clapping.
And that's not what I'm asking you.
She's not a
Your
congressperson.
qualifications have been much
But she was. That looks like the
No,
same woman.
she's
who was
she's too ginger. The other one was blonde.
Do you believe that there's no evidence that the flu vaccine has efficacy in reducing serious injury or hospitalization? This is an easy one, doctor. This is an easy one.
It's an easy fucking question.
I support the CDC's guidance on the flu vaccine, and I will always be working with the CDC, ACIP, and the agency.
So you believe it is an efficacious vaccine to reduce hospitalization and
she looks like
is or is not?
Is. You believe it is.
As I said, I support the CDC's guidance on the flu vaccine.
Let me just say, do you think the flu vaccine reduces the risk of hospitalization? or
Tim's
serious
trying.
I've said it.
You're
I'll
a
repeat
doctor.
it. I believe vaccines save lives. I
The
believe
flu-
they're an
the flu
important
vaccine.
part of public health strategy.
The flu vaccine, does it reduce the risk of injury or
At
hospitalization?
the population level, I certainly think that it does.
Let me
Oh,
introduce
okay,
for the
so it
record,
does.
if I can, Mr. Chair. CDC seasonal flu vaccine effectiveness studies dated May 30, 2025, from the CDC that goes into this in some detail.
Without objection.
This is not a hard question.
I answered your question.
I know it. After
At a population level, I think it does.
you did.
After 3 minutes.
in, you answered a question that has a very simple yes, or it had a very simple no to the proposition stated by the Secretary that there is no evidence. The Secretary said there is no evidence that this is effective. And yes, after 3 minutes, you acknowledge that at a population
I
level, you
haven't
would
seen that
disagree with
report. I have not seen.
Yeah, but you know about the flu vaccine.
If I had a nickel for every time I was misquoted in the media, I'd be a very wealthy woman.
I
would like to understand what his.
I'm not asking you about the quote. I'm asking you about something in your remit, the effectiveness of the flu vaccine. In a
She's gonna keep doing it, where she gets harped on in her refusal to answer questions. Actually, before I do go on with that, I wanted to get a little bit about her backstory. Actually, so Surgeon General nominee means question about vaccines, birth control, and financial conflicts. So I was gonna go down to. So in podcast appearances and online, Means has expressed concerns about the safety of the childhood vaccine schedule and questioned hormonal birth control. She also endorsed raw milk, as has Kennedy. Quote, I absolutely think that oral contraception should be widely accessible, she said in response to a question about birth control pills from Cassidy, a physician, who asked in part if they should be made available without a prescription. Quote, I believe especially when it comes to oral contraceptives, we need to have patients having a conversation with their doctor about risks and benefits. Duh, bitch. They already do that before they're given the fucking pill. Means has grown her public profile in the last few years, primarily through a book on diet and health called Good Energy, and appearances on high-profile podcasts. She's often joined by her brother and co-author Callie Means, who served as an advisor to Health Secretary Kennedy. Her nomination has faced considerable pushback from the medical and public health establishment, in part because she lacks the clinical experience of past Surgeon General. Quote, she is less qualified professionally than any other Surgeon General in history. There's no question about that, says Georges Benjamin, CEO of the American Public Health Association. Means graduated from Stanford Medical School, but dropped out of surgical training to become a head and neck surgeon. She went on to open a functional medicine practice in Oregon, though she stopped seeing patients a few years ago and doesn't currently have an active medical license. At the hearing, she said she has no plans to reactivate her license if confirmed. I have that video, I believe. Her focus has been on nutrition, the country's high rate of chronic diseases, and the failure of the medical system to address root causes of poor health. Similar to Kennedy, she points to the harms of ultra-processed foods, environmental toxins, glyphosate, poor lifestyle, and the overuse of pharmaceuticals, among other culprits. Quote, every American shares a core yearning to thrive and help their families thrive, but we are asking people to make healthy choices in environments that are squarely structured against them, she said in her opening statement to the committee. So maybe going for glyphosate isn't the good idea to have sprayed onto our food, Miss Means. Well, she's also going to get asked about her tweet in regards to the hepatitis B vaccine. Like, these people are not well. They're either lying to themselves, lying to you, or they're truly deluded because the science is there. Hi, Taro, by the way.
Let me just move on as well to vaccinations. I want to just, you tweeted that you believe the hepatitis B vaccine at birth is a crime. That is what you tweeted. Do you recall tweeting that?
That is not the full tweet.
I actually do have the tweet. I can provide it for you. I have a copy of it here where you say that vaccinating, that you believe the hepatitis B vaccine is a crime. And I wonder if you believe that, how is it that vaccinating children against hepatitis could be a crime? Let me just move on as well to
So what does it matter? We have the whole tweet. What does that make a difference to the fact that you think that Hep B is bad to give to children at birth? What does that have to do with anything? In another big shocker, she also is involved in, taking money and being corrupt. She fits right in with this corrupted, scammy fucking administration.
Function Health, which is your lab testing platform, data shows that you disclosed your partnership with them less than a third of the time that you recommended their services online. Genova Diagnostics, you disclosed your sponsorship in only 2 of the 9 times that you promoted Genova. Daily Harvest, you disclosed your sponsorship in only 3 of the 14 posts recommending that product. Zen Basil Seeds, you disclosed your partnership only 2 out of the 13 times that you recommended the product. This seems systemic. It seems that in the majority of instances in which you were, as a medical professional, recommending a product, you were hiding the fact that you had a financial partnership. You seem to be in regular willful violation of the FTC rules. That is concerning as someone who agrees with Senator Cassidy that our focus has to be on restoring trust in the medical profession. And yet over and over again, you seem to be at scale recommending products without telling your followers. And you have 200,000 newsletter subscribers. You have almost 1 million Instagram followers. And in only 3 out of 14 times on Daily Harvest, when you were promoting Daily Harvest, you disclosed that you're getting paid by them?
It sounds like you have a lot to say about this issue, and I would be very interested to see how your staff looked at this data. I have a strong feeling that the way in which they gather this data is done intentionally to create these claims that you're making.
Well, I have the backup here. I mean, will you acknowledge that in many instances when you were promoting these products, you did not disclose that you had a financial relationship?
I don't think that's true. If it has happened, if it inadvertently has happened, I would rectify that immediately. However, I would be interested to see how your staff gathered
I'll
this
be
data.
happy to send it to you.
And I will conclude by saying that I
send it to
take
all the committee
conflicts.
members. I mean, it's pretty incontrovertible evidence.
I take conflicts of interest incredibly seriously. I've worked diligently with the Office of Government Ethics to make sure that conflicts are addressed thoroughly.
How does corruption and your lack of transparency about the things that you are advocating for, how is that happen inadvertently? Would be my question. So here's the one about her inactive license. I'm gonna have her gets asked about her inactive fucking license. Like this is somebody we're gonna be putting in charge of the Surgeon General. This is a big fucking deal. And I don't see why. Mike keeps telling me to have a baby. Yeah, I have 2. Thanks, I'm set. But that's great. Good for you.
Have a what?
Have a baby. Just keep saying have a baby, save the United States. Like save the cheerleader, save the
Pay
world
me.
kind of thing. Yeah, are you gonna pay me
to have
to
a baby?
I can't. I don't think the government's gonna pay me to have a kid. I can. Nope. I don't think it's gonna happen. So, guys, while we're sitting here, you guys are almost at 100,000 likes. I'm so proud of you. You guys are tapping away. I appreciate that so much. Again, if we could keep working on the little mini gift goal and my 8-5 goal that I have left, that would be wonderful. While we watch them question the nominee for Surgeon General.
I guess I wanted to just dive into this because, with the Commission Corps, it's saying as a Commission Corps officer of the U.S. Public Health Services, keeping professional licensure and certification up to date is mandatory. So I guess I just wanted to get a sense of how you're squaring this here.
Well, I do have a medical license right now. It is voluntarily placed on inactive status because I'm not actively seeing patients at this time.
Also, I need to research that. Can you voluntarily put your medical license on inactive status, or is it just set to expire at some point? I don't know that that's something that you can voluntarily put inactive. You just don't use it. If you're not using it, you don't use it.
The HHS and Admiral Brian Christine have testified in front of this committee that I am eligible to serve as the medical director of the HHS.
But how does that square with saying here it says keeping a professional licensure and certification up to date is mandatory? Is yours up to date?
I have an active.
I
have a medical license that is unexpired.
You can voluntarily put it as inactive.
Hold on. In Tennessee, you can.
Oh,
Double checking.
that's where she's. Well, she's in Oregon, right? That's where she did her business.
I think so. Yes, you can put your license on hold, commonly referred to as placing it as an inactive or retire status, but it's typically done through the individual state medical board that issued the license.
That doesn't sound like it's voluntary then. That sounds like the board deciding that it's inactive.
Right now, I'll let you know. Admiral Christine has testified that I'm eligible to serve in this role. I'm the president's nominee for Surgeon General, and further questions about that will have to go to
So if we were to expand that, would you say that, like, with
Yes,
the
you
others in the commission core, do you think we should
Stupid, though.
remove the mandatory licensure for them to be able to participate in the core?
And that's the thing he's pointing out is to be able to serve in this role, you need to have it up to date. It's mandatory for you. It avoids having to renew it. That's fine, Blue. Yeah. But I think he's saying in this role, particularly this role that you're taking on and any role within the federal government in regards to help, you have to have it up to date. And so the fact that they don't.
Thank you, Mia.
W Mia. The fact that she doesn't, that's why he's asking her now, right? Like, are you going to take away the requirements of it being mandatory to have an up-to-date license?
That's not a question that I've considered. I don't think it's actually relevant to this particular hearing.
Well, it's relevant insofar as I'm just trying to think through, if you're in this job, how are you going to be proceeding, and what kind of advice you're going to be able to give to the American people, and the credibility that they will have in understanding what your advice is. Also, in terms of, if you are a leader of the Commission Corps, I'm trying to get a sense, are you going to deprioritize having an active license in the same way that, you believe that you can do the job of a Surgeon General without having an active license? Do you believe that that is the case for others in the Commission Corps, that they can do their job without having an active license?
Senator Kim, I'm a medical doctor. I graduated from Stanford University School of Medicine. I have a medical license. My professional history is a feature, it's not a bug. I have had a unique history that has merged entrepreneurship, public health advocacy, faculty, course direction at Stanford University, as well as being an editor of a medical journal and a biomedical researcher. And in these complex times for American healthcare, that type of multidisciplinary history is going to be extremely valuable for the American people.
I don't discount your accomplishments and your education, but what I'm trying to get a sense of here is your ability to be able to engage with our current medical professionals.
Jeff, keep up. We're not even talking about Trump right now. We're talking about the Surgeon General nominee. Haven't even talked about Trump. I haven't even really talked about Trump at all. I've talked about his administration covering for him and hiding things, but I'm not really talking about Trump. You guys are unwell.
For getting to 100K likes.
W Tappers, I appreciate you guys.
Can
Thank you
we
so much.
work on that goal though, y'all?
Show respect to...
I practiced medicine. I owned my own medical practice, and I've seen thousands of patients, and I did over 4 years of surgical training, which is more than many of our past Surgeon Generals completed who did medical specialties. I have completed extremely thorough medical training, and I have the ability through these experiences to communicate excellent public health information. And I really look forward to working with the Commission Corps. This is an incredible group of people, 5,000 uniformed officers who are committing their lives to helping the American people. And personally, just to share a little bit of a
I
vision,
agree with
a
that. I just
vision
want to
for
say
that.
the signal that is being sent is one that I think we have to look at. And with that, I'll yield back. I guess.
So we're gonna, she sounds super professional, right? She's gonna be so great. Well, I think maybe we shouldn't have people in charge who, when they meditate, hear voices. So that's just something that I don't think we should do. But and I don't have any kind of problem with psychedelics. I don't have any kind of problem with that. It's decriminalized here in Colorado. It's not a fucking big deal. I don't give a shit about doing it. Do you, boo-boo? But maybe don't hear voices that direct you.
You were inspired to try psychedelics in what I can only describe as an internal voice that whispered, "It's time to prepare." Illicit drug use remains a huge problem in this country, and this didn't happen in your teen years. According to your book, in 2021, you began
Psychedelics and Susan
using
Collins was not on my bingo card.
psychedelic mushrooms. So my questions to you are twofold. One, do you stand by what you said in your book, encouraging people to try psychedelics? And second, as Surgeon General, should you be confirmed, how would you speak to the American people about the use of illicit drugs?
Thank you so much, Senator Collins. And I also thank you sincerely for engaging so deeply with my work and learning about me. This is a very important question, and I would start by just saying that I believe what I would say as a private citizen is in many cases different than what I would say as a public health official. Joining a team where the purpose of this role is to communicate absolutely the best evidence-based science to the American people to keep them safe, thriving, and healthy. And when it comes to psychedelic therapy for mental health issues, I think the science is still emerging. And so it would certainly not be a recommendation to the American people to do that under no circumstances. I do believe that there is exciting work being done in this area that needs to continue on psychedelic therapies for PTSD and veterans.
Now that I agree with. I disagree with Susan Collins on the idea of putting psychedelics into a form of medicine. We've seen where it can actually be really, really beneficial for veterans, for PTSD, for people with anxiety, and in small doses and things called microdosing, that it can be very good. I don't like that she's trying to separate her personal usage and what she wrote about in a book to what she plans to do while she's in office. But again, if you're hearing voices, I don't know that you should be, but I'll let her finish because I never like to, cut off the video. You didn't let her finish.
For mental health issues, and some of the researchers who are doing this work have said it's some of the most promising and exciting of their entire careers. So I look forward to following that, but to be very clear, under no circumstances would I recommend that to the American people in this role. Our illicit drug use problem in our country is monumental and severe, and I look forward to working with you on these issues that are so important.
What did you mean by saying that you heard an internal voice whispering to you saying it's time to prepare?
Yeah, in that passage of the book, I'm referring to my mother's passing, which happened. She got a diagnosis of pancreatic cancer about a week after that experience, and in my meditations and prayers at that time, I was having a deep sense that something ominous was coming.
What? Hang on. Can you replay that?
Grief counseling should be a thing.
Grief counseling is a thing.
Well, I'm not should be. I mean, she needs to go to it. Let me get back to Susan Collins so I can find that. Oh, no. I'm gonna have to go. Yeah.
What did you mean by saying that you heard an internal voice whispering to you saying it's time to prepare?
Yeah, in that passage of the book, I'm referring to my mother's passing, which happened. She got a diagnosis of pancreatic cancer about a week after that experience, and in my meditations and prayers at that time, I was having a deep sense that something ominous was coming.
So my grandmother passed away from pancreatic cancer years ago.
Sure.
Right? I never thought that was my cue to drop some tabs.
Did you have, well, and I mean, it would just be shrooms, but were voices speaking to you saying it's time to prepare because something ominous? It sounds like rapture religion shit. By the way, people were noticing that the aides in the back trying not to crack up. This guy was sleeping the whole time. just sleep in the back. But, sounds like schizophrenia. Look, I just, the voices only tell me to bake cinnamon rolls is crazy. It's just I don't know that that's the kind of person that you want to put these fucking holistic alternative wellness people, that you want to put them in charge. I just don't know why you would want to do that. All right, I've got 2 more videos. These ones really are just kind of rage baity or just they make me happy. So this one is Hillary Knight, one of the hockey players from the women's gold Olympic medal winning women's hockey team, in response to, unfortunately, she's being fucking asked about what these men said and what the president said, which is disgusting in and of itself, and she addresses that.
No, I just thought the joke was distasteful and unfortunate. And I think, just the way women are represented, it's a great teaching point to really shine light on how women should be championed for their amazing feats. And now I have to sort of sit, and anybody has to sit in front of you and explain someone else's behavior. It's not my responsibility.
Which we do a lot in society. We ask women to apologize for and explain the behavior of men. Why does she have to fucking answer this at all?
But what is shifting the focus and shifting the narrative of this amazing accomplishment that we all did together. And granted, the men's and the women's team did it together, and that is super special. It's never been done in our program's history. It's something we're extremely proud about. But these women are amazing.
Jedi. So I don't have any issue with the fact that Trump called them and that they answered and that they took the call of the president. I don't have any I don't care about that shit. That's fine. What I take issue with is laughing about what's not a joke, which is saying I have to invite the women's hockey team, who, by the way, won their gold medals faster. And when was the last time the men's hockey team won? Oh, it was like 80 fucking years ago. So, like, the fact that you laugh at something that's not a joke, it's a put down. Like, if women are the punchline of the joke, if the funny is just women existing, I have a fucking problem with that. I don't have a problem with them taking...
fucking joke.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with them taking the call. I have the problem with laughing. And also, you didn't have to show up. They have done multiple interviews since them, Jedi, and their answers are not any better. Their answers aren't any better. They need to do better. If the women played like the men, we wouldn't have medals. Thank God the women's hockey team play like women, King. They have culpability. They do. They have culpability in this for being men. They called them girls. My last little bit is just rage bait for MAGA before we get ready to leave here. Because they just, makes them so mad. Yeah, soft. They are soft as baby shit. You're probably talking about me, but they are. They're soft as baby shit. Men need to get stronger about criticism. It's fine. No, I know, Jedi. I just, yeah. Men. But here's your rage bait for the day.
I watched it. It was full of lies. And
this is her response to the State of the Union. I had to explain that. I know the title is on the bottom, but MAGA can't read. So let me read it for you. Exclusive. That's what that word says. Read it with me. Exclusive. Kamala Harris with thoughts on State of the Union and more from the Parnas perspective.
When he wasn't lying, it reminded me of our kids going to show and tell at school. It was nothing that was true about really how the American people right now, so many are suffering under the weight of high prices, unaffordable healthcare, unaffordable housing. And it was, we've come to expect it. And, some people have said it was really quite boring and that there was nothing very interesting about it because it's the same old, same old. The guy lying about what he intends to do, what he has done, and the state of our economy and the state of the world. I watched.
Just for the feels. Nat, I just got that. I was just going to bring it up right now. Nat, guys, big W's for Nat. Thank you, Nat, for the 10 on the Blue app. Thank you for all you do on keeping the public informed. Thank you so much for supporting. It means everything to me that you guys come here, for that education and for that supportive community here. I really, really am appreciative of it.
Do you want to play the funnies I sent you in live chat?
Sure, I can look at that. By the way, it did make them mad. They're mad. But speaking of, I don't know if let's see if he's still in here since the YouTube chat is so very mad. They said, men. Let's see if he's in here. Oh, there's a man. Hi, husband.
How can I help you?
Oh, I don't know. Do you want to tell them about how much I hate men and that I'm married to one, maybe? Maybe.
Oh, yeah, I could vouch for that. Great job.
Oh, thanks. Part of the He-Man Man Haters Club. Or the She-Man.
You change your background.
What?
How do you put like a photo as your background?
Me? Personally?
No, me.
Oh. Green screen?
Oh, damn, that's not what I wanted to do.
Not having to teach the boomer how to do the TikTok. I mean, that's fine. Green screen. It'd be like the She-Woman Man Haters Club. Blue.
Did he kick me?
No, she's still here.
Oh. I thought he paid to kick me.
Oh man.
Not
found
Blue
it.
outing a lie into his user. Blue, when the fuck did you do that?
Audrey's going buck
We were
wild
talking
over there on
earlier.
YouTube, by the way. Audrey's like, I'm just muting them because we're near the end anyway. God damn it. The only emails I'm getting are bills, and it's very frustrating. What are we doing?
It's a swan.
Nope. It was better the other way.
Damn it.
It's fine. Look, Swan. What's that for?
There we go. So someone swans me.
Oh, my God. Okay. I don't know what. These are the two things you said up here, right?
Yep,
Okay.
yep, that one, and then the thing from the Tampa International Airport.
I don't know what these are.
There's
so that's-
Kayla.
Two things.
You're the one that said you like dates, right, Kayla?
The
You have to
food.
look up these things for Ramadan. It's like it's blended dates with nuts, and they're like rolled in sugar.
Yeah, they're so good.
They're amazing. So good.
All right, so we are. This is going to be a jump scare for me because I don't know what we're watching. Here we go.
Introducing the Secretary Kennedy
God!
action figure. With chronic disease running rampant, President Trump is sending one man.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Watch out. Red 40 is in your kid's lunch.
By the way, this is from Secretary Kennedy's official Twitter.
Quick, increase your strength with real whole milk.
Wow, it's full of protein and healthy fats.
And ban Red 40 to the trash.
Take that.
Oh no, a peregrine falcon is stuck in the river. Quick, swap into your denim jeans and jump in.
Wow, waterproof jeans.
Oh no, the food pyramid puts Fruit Loops at the top.
My message is clear. Eat real food.
Flip the pyramid to
That's
put the
not
real food
real.
we need
This can't
on
be
top.
real.
It's from
Bring
his
home
Twitter.
the full Maha playset today with limited edition Iron Mike Tyson.
Eat real food or else.
Accessories sold separately. Batteries not included. Get active and eat real food.
Oh my God.
You think Kid Rock's mad he got
That's
snubbed?
it. I mean, he did his hot tub thing with him, and then, he put some money on the dresser and he said, we're done. That's what happened.
And Fruit Loops are not the top of his pyramid. Rotisserie chicken is.
Oh my God.
I think it's toilet seats, actually.
Then, okay, what is this? Tampa International Airport. Is this, well, they don't have a blue check mark, so I don't know that it's there. Maybe.
It's someone's retweet of it, I think.
Well, the account says Tampa International Airport. It says Fly TPA. Official account. Who knows? They just don't have a check mark, which is fine because you could pay for those bitches anyway. But this is the Tampa International Airport. We've seen enough. We've had enough. It's time to ban pajamas again. This is something Sean Duffy, the Secretary of Transportation, has been going for. It's time to ban pajamas at Tampa International Airport after successfully banning Crocs and giving everyone the amazing opportunity to experience the world's first Crocs-free airport. It's time to take on an even larger crisis. Pajamas at the airport in the middle of the day. We know this decision could be disruptive to someone in your life. It's time to have a difficult conversation with them. You can do this. We and Phoebe believe in you. This isn't real. The madness stops today. The movement starts now. Help Tampa International Airport become the world's first Crocs-free and pajama-free airport. Do your part. Say no to pajamas at TPA.
I just wanted a good chuckle.
Yeah, no. Laughsies. I like laughsies at the end. It's the best way to...
Kayla's a punk.
Why?
Check
Look
your
at live chat.
Oh, God.
It's so windy, I had to put a man bun. And the one day I do, y'all.
There's no mercy in this group. I just want you to know.
I know. No one is safe.
Nope. No mercy in this friend group. The amount, I wish I still have them. I deleted it to be nice, but I do. I still have Chicky in her, filter of her in her car with her bandana. But I had one where she was eating, a piece of meat, and it was, stuck in her mouth, and she, turned to the camera like this. I had that one for a reaction photo for a while. You can't do anything in this group. It's like, clip it! Because they will. They will clip it. Oh, goodness me. You have an idiot for a president. What a shame. It is. It is a shame. I agree. It sucks. But here we are. It is what it is.
Also, just Monty Hub on his swan is crazy, Kayla. What are we looking at?
Oh, this is well, if he would move out of the way of the visor, this is a statue that's over. She's really pretty.
All I see is visor.
Get the visor out of the way. What are you doing? My God.
Sounds like he's moving.
And he's a nom again. Thank you for calling the stream. Age, state, who'd you vote for?
I voted for Howard Stern. And
Why would you do
Donald
that?
Trump is a pedo. He's a pedophile.
So is Howard Stern. On that note, turn that off. You think Howard Stern's any better than that? Gross. Alrighty. Well, I think that's the end of me today. Because it's gonna be time to get lunch.
What's for lunch?
I don't know yet. Oh, I have leftover sausage and peppers. I might just have that. I'll probably just have that.
I'm over you, Kayla. I'm not sending you that recipe.
Let's see. Guys, stop deleting them. I need to be able to read them. I can't read the super chats. That's fun for me to read the super chats, but thank you for the super chat. I can read it from here from OBS. Liar, when you ask the caller/audience many times for the answer to your question, and I post the answer many times you ask, it's not spam. If you're not sending super chats, I'm not getting your answer in the chat. So, I don't know what you want me to do about that. Like, do you know how
When did
fast
we go
that
to the
chat
space
scrolls?
shuttle?
Yeah, also now we're in space. We went from nom to space.
Why am I in space?
I don't know. Why are you in space?
Because I'm out by this damn Space Force base.
Oh, now we're in a... Here, try and call
They're not
again.
real.
Because I told you I turned it off. Go ahead and try. Go ahead and try. Give it a try. I want to see you do it. Factual-based evidence and not your fifis. You guys don't know how to do that. What the fuck? Thank you for calling the stream. Age, state, who'd you vote for?
It breaks them every time.
Age, state, and who did you vote for?
Trump.
Thank you for calling the stream. Age, state, who'd you vote for?
Donald Trump.
Okay, age and state.
50, and I'm in Chicago.
You're in the state of Chicago?
No, I'm in the state of Illinois.
Oh, okay. Well, I asked you your state, not your city. Cool. Why are you still supporting Trump?
Because it's everything that's opposite of the Democratic Party.
Oh, so you're not supporting anything, you're opposing something. That's interesting. You have no scruples?
Oh, no, I have plenty of scruples.
Cool. So name a policy of Donald Trump's that you support and we can talk about it.
You know what? It's not about the policies anymore.
I'm not doing it. Just answer questions. Like, could you imagine being like, could you imagine being on a date with somebody and being like, hey, what do you do for work? And they're like, it's not really about where I work. It's like, it's about the feeling that I have. And then you wonder why you're lonely. Thank you for calling the stream. Age, state, who'd you vote for? Okay. Thank you for calling the stream. Age, state, and who did you vote for?
Donald Trump.
Okay, can I get your age and your state, please?
I'm 23 and I'm in Missouri.
Are you sure? All right, why are you still supporting Trump? He had to think about it.
I support Trump because I think what Trump does is he accelerates the contradictions that exist in the United States. For example, the obvious one being the capitalist class and then the working class.
Oh, so you're an accelerationist and you just want him to burn it all down?
There you go. You got
it. Cool. Don't care about your privilege.
He was so excited. He's like, yeah, finally.
He's like, you got it? Oh, she don't like that.
Jeff, why does everyone hate me? That's why I come up here, though.
Because you get in trouble.
We hate men, duh.
Because you get in trouble for being how you
I
are.
do get in trouble.
Oh my God,
I'm working
questions?
on it.
Yeah, it's 3 questions. I ask it to every person who comes up, whether they come up on TikTok guest or whether they call in. It's the same fucking 3 questions. It should not be that difficult.
That guy earlier, age state, who'd you vote for? Texas. Okay, age and state, Steve.
I'm like, I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask for any of that. I am 35. I'm in Colorado. I voted for Kamala Harris. It's a pretty easy fucking question. I guess maybe the old ways are dying, guys. Millennials, the old ways are dying. If you guys don't remember being millennials on the wild west of the internet, where we entered ASL into every fucking interaction that we had, I guess
Age,
the old
sex,
ways.
location.
I guess the old ways are dying. Because we can't answer age, state, who'd you vote for. Interesting.
The one guy who was like, I haven't been on AOL in a while. I'm like, that's not what I asked you. I said age, state, who you vote for.
That's it. That's it. That's all.
I used to ask age, state, and girth size, but you know.
It's not about the size, Olive, they say.
It is. Because if you can't use the tool, nope.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh, the Trump. It's like the get a job, get a job, get a job, get a job.
You guys okay?
Get a job, get a better job, get a second job, get a fucking job, get a job, get a job. It's like,
Ready to mingle is hey, someone screenshot that and send it to Chicky.
Chicky was just in here. Really? Chicky goes out of town? Really? And this is what happens, Blue?
And now you're ready to mingle?
No.
Damn.
39 Tennessee and ready.
Can't never trust a lioness.
With Chicky. There's an asterisk. With Chicky.
Wait. Ready? Oh. My dumbass is like, what the fuck did you say?
Something tingles? Go to the doctor.
Jedi, it's a cognitive mind test.
And I passed it. I aced it 3 times. It's not easy.
My camel looks like an elephant.
It's not an easy test.
My camel looks like an elephant, and my giraffe looks like an alligator.
It's true.
You know, giraffe in Latin is camelopardus.
Stop it with your tism!
I meant go away.
Go away.
Mansplaining camels to me.
That's a weird
or giraffes.
That's a weird sentence to be had. Mansplain camels.
And giraffes.
Mike.
Erica's on.
Which one?
Shantae.
Ooh. Is she doing her thing? So is Dougie.
And Hector's up on the panel with her.
Oh, we'll go. When everyone gets there, though, you have to, like, say hi-bye to Hector. Because that's what he did to me. He said hi-bye.
Just live by him.
Yeah, he said hi-bye.
He should have got a swan. Well, nobody wanted to swan him, so I guess... Whoa! Who did that? I got rid of you. Who did that to Olive? Oh, right. Ramon. So rude.
I did nothing.
Why do they keep trying to call when I close the damn phone line? But I'm not opening it back up.
They don't know. You know what?
But it's fine. I could do my spiel. You guys can call tomorrow. I'll be on at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, whatever time that is for you for Friday. It will be Friday. You guys can find your cojones. Look real deep in there. Find them. Are they in there? I don't know. Maybe. And then you can call me tomorrow.
Open so I can give you a swan.
You want me to bring
Jedi?
it? My God.
Okay, now's your chance, Jedi.
He's... Look, Jedi did it anyway.
It's okay. I'll drop. You can drop me now.
Now we'll drop Olive. It's fine. Okay. With that, I think we're going to go raid Erica Shantae. We're going to do a Jasmani Da raid over there. That's for both of you. I'm done. I don't care. I'm hungry. I want to eat. Food. So thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you guys come back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, whatever time that is for you, and I will see you guys tomorrow. So go ahead and go and do Erica Shantae. Let's go Jasmani Da raid her and do all the good things and support, and I guess say hi-bye to Hector since he be live buying all the time. He does do that, and he be leaving. So we'll do that. But I appreciate you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.